Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, The Hidden Benefits of Loyalty, How Top Brands Create Winning Loyalty Programs. I'm Talia Shani. I'm a Director of Marketing at Yotpo, and I'm joined today by Katie McKeever from Yotpo and Sam Mansfield from Live Area. Today, I'm really excited to say we're going to be diving into the loyalty programs of some of the best e-commerce brands with the most loyal customers and kind of learning how they're building successful programs and really driving retention. First, I'd love Sam from Live Area to introduce yourself. Hi, Sam.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. A little bit about myself. So I lead the strategy team in EMEA for Live Area. I've been working in digital product and service design for over 20 years across a range of B2B and B2C clients. And I'm very excited to be talking about loyalty today because from a strategy perspective, it's an incredibly important opportunity to work in the sweet spot, which is what we call the place where brand and customer goals and needs naturally align.
That's awesome. And next, Katie from Yotpo. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Katie McKeever, and I am the product marketing manager for our loyalty product here at Yotpo.
Katie, let's just dive right in. I think you're going to talk a little bit about loyalty before we go straight into our case studies from the best e-commerce brands.
Awesome. And Talia, I know just for me, it's on the, yeah, okay. Wanted to make sure we're going to the slides. All right, so what we're going to cover today is really talking through some of the loyalty tactics that drive success. So in today's world, consumers have a lot of choices, and in order to earn loyalty, brands really need to look past the next purchase and connect with customers on a human level and align with their values. So specifically today, we're going to hone in on 3 tactics on how brands need to collect customer data in order to understand customer preferences and motivations, tactics for how to drive brand affinity to connect with consumers on the brand values, and lastly, how to motivate high value behaviors. Because of course, the ultimate goal of loyalty is to create an emotional connection with consumers, but also talk through how is this driving revenue and impacting our bottom line.
So now we're diving into our case studies. First up, we have Noon, an amazing brand. They're a sports nutrition drink. I love that these guys are a huge brand in their own right, but they're also taking on some of the biggest brands in the world. You can find them in 5,000 retailers in the US, in 30 countries, but they also have a huge D2C e-commerce business and an amazing loyalty program, of course. Sam, can you talk to us about some of the challenges Noon had that led them to want to build a loyalty program?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and as Katie mentioned, a lot of this was made possible by the data that Noon was able to collect about their customers to make sure that we could implement a loyalty program most effectively. And some of that data that we look at is around purchase consideration and purchase frequency. So how often would I buy something? How much thought do I put into the purchase? And that typically drives the level of engagement that a customer might want from a brand or product. And then we look at usage frequency and usage attachment. Do I use the thing every day? Is it something I use once a month? And how much do I really care about it? And that then drives the level of experience that somebody's looking for. And so what was happening at Noon was they had a very small percentage of repeat purchases. It was about 87% of their customers would only buy once or twice. And that's really low for a lifestyle product like they are. So that was one of the first indications that we might want to investigate the rest of that data to understand what was happening and how to create a better loyalty program for them. So what we did, sorry.
I think you're about to get into it. I was going to ask about some of the initial research you did when you were building their loyalty program.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially what we wanted to do was understand that 13%. Those people who were buying more frequently and more were engaged. So kind of what was the picture of that customer? So we built some personas and we looked at their kind of consumer journey, and we found out that for them, the real loyalty drivers, those brand engagement factors, were around community, so belonging to a community of like-minded people, and the quality of the product. So something that I feel good about and feel good about using, particularly when it's something that you're going to put in your body. So that's really what makes the lifestyle products come alive in terms of loyalty, is the drivers around community and quality.
Okay, and then what were some of the specific tactics that you deployed in their loyalty program to sort of address those challenges?
Exactly. So when we think about the idea of quality, so how am I assured that something it works well? And the biggest option there is reviews. So how do I make those reviews available? How do I encourage people to consume those reviews to get that level of trust around the quality of the product? So that was going to be a key part of the loyalty program. So engaging with reviews, writing reviews, also around the community aspect. So Noon runs a very educational, informational, fun blog. So let's make that part of it. Let's encourage that community aspect. So having people engage with the blogs or the social channels was also a part of the loyalty program, one of the tactics to help build that idea of community. There's also an idea of referring a friend, again, building trust, quality around the product. And then the last thing that we wanted to do was specific to subscriptions, because with something like this that you are using frequently and that you would need to purchase frequently because you're using it every day to support your healthy lifestyle, subscriptions is kind of a no-brainer. So we wanted to look at an additional loyalty driver in addition to community and quality, this idea of convenience as a loyalty driver. So that's really where the subscription piece came in, because that's incredibly convenient. If we can get you to say, well, yes, I'd like to sign up to have my Noon delivered once a month, once every 2 weeks, then that also adds that driver of convenience to that kind of brand affinity, that loyalty proposition. So that's really the three kind of tactics that we looked at: building community, making it convenient, and emphasizing the quality of the product, the quality of the lifestyle.
As a consumer, I have to say, I love when I am a subscriber and then I get to be a member of a loyalty program, because I'm like, I was going to get this anyway, and now you're rewarding me, and it really builds that I feel like I'm getting my subscription and I'm getting a little bit of a prize for being subscribed. So from my angle, I love that part of their program. Katie, do you have anything to add about Noon's specific loyalty program?
I think that Samantha covered a lot of the key aspects of a lifestyle product. I think whenever I'm speaking about strategy of a consumable product in particular, especially when it's key to like health benefits, that the blog part and the like educational part of this strategy really resonates with a lot of the things that we talk about at Yapo. Because it's, you know, how do I make consumers feel the need to consume this on a regular basis, because they need to be educated about all of these things that we're providing as far as like benefits to why every day. So I think that it's really one of my favorite programs, and obviously they've seen phenomenal results already. From the loyalty program, they saw that 70% of loyalty members have made repeat purchases since joining, and an overall 3 times customer lifetime value. So it's been really impactful through some of these like small tactics to really get people almost a little addicted to the product, which is the goal of the brand at the end of the day.
So they went, Samantha, from having 13%, I think you said, of their customers being repeat purchasers to having 70% of their customers become repeat purchasers, or 70% of those loyalty members becoming repeat purchasers.
70% wow. of those that signed up for the loyalty program, yeah.
That is amazing. Anything else about Noon, ladies, before we move on to our next brand, which I'm very excited about? I know I said I was excited about Noon. There are 2 brands we're talking about today that I'm absolute fangirl of. The first one is Moroccan Oil. I'm sure you guys know Moroccan Oil. They started with that famous hair oil product. Now they have a full line of body hair care products. They're like a celebrity brand. They're a great beauty brand. let's talk about sort of some of the challenges that beauty brands face and the challenges that specifically Moroccan Oil faced that led them to want to create a loyalty program.
I can start with some of the just general challenges that beauty brands typically have and why they seek loyalty. And one of the challenges is just general low AOV and basket size. So if you think about any type of cosmetic or one shampoo, you know, customers are spending between $15 to $35. So in order to really increase customer profitability, of course, you want to not only have repeat purchases, but how do I get them to spend more each time? Because with beauty, actually, being that it's a consumable product, a lot of times you are addicted to one kind of a shampoo and you're just not going to switch. So that's great for Moroccan Oil, but how can I increase how much you're spending every time? How can I get you to buy more and increase the share of wallet that I have in the beauty category for a particular user? So we can get into some tactics, but I also I think Sam had some really good insight that we talked specifically about product demonstration. So Sam, can you share some of those thoughts here too?
Yeah, absolutely, Katie. Thank you. So when you think about beauty as a category and the products within it, another challenge is that these are products that need some help in use. So it's not like you've just bought a pair of shoes and the way I use it is I put it on my feet. I know how to do that. It's very easy. But particularly with beauty products, if you've bought it because you've seen a particular look online or a style that you're trying to replicate, it's something that you need to experiment with. It's something that you need help, a demonstration. So that's another barrier, as Katie was talking about, getting people to try new products is literally the trying it aspect. How do I know how to experiment with this and get it to do what I want it to do?
Okay, that's interesting. And so, sorry, Katie.
I was just going to get into the tactics, but
yeah, go ahead.
Prompt me. So there's a lot of tactics to basically accomplish increasing the share of wallet, the basket size each time, and this product demonstration. And one of the biggest parts of Moroccan Oil, and I would say almost every beauty loyalty program, think of Sephora, is the rewards bazaar concept of free products or free samples. So how do I get people to experiment with new products? So to Sam's point, how do I get them to have a sample of like a lip liner and a lipstick duo that I might need a little bit of help with trying? And really, how do I get them then addicted to that product? So I think a lot of the idea is, let's give them a free sample of a product that they might not normally try. Maybe it's one of our more expensive products, so that if they love it, the next time they come back, not only are they buying their shampoo, but they're also adding on that additional product. And that's really where loyalty in the beauty space has a lot of success. It's like driving that experiment through free products so that ultimately there is that higher AOV. So it's not necessarily how do I get people who purchase twice to purchase 5 times. It's growing each basket instead, which is kind of unique to this vertical.
Okay, that's interesting. So oh, sorry, go ahead, Sam.
I was just going to say, and also just echoing again what Katie said at the beginning about, from the business side of things, leveraging the data that you're getting. The brilliant thing about samples is you know what samples you've sent, and then you know what products somebody has bought off the back of those samples. So that helps you then to even target the program further, because you know what kind of category of products people are engaging in, so you can send them even more targeted samples. So it's a little bit of a virtuous cycle using the data, which is really beneficial for both the customer and the brand.
That is super interesting. So the idea here is, like, as a loyalty program member, I come in, I love the Moroccan hair oil, which I do love. And then I've joined the loyalty program, so they send me with my order of oil, they're going to send me a sample of the shampoo as well. And then I'm now going to be able to try out the shampoo. And by the way, they're going to have that data so they can find other ways to put the shampoo in front of me and try to convince me to buy more of that. I love that. I'll take all the free samples I can get.
Yeah.
Let's dive into the results here. Katie, how did this work out for them?
Yeah, so they've had great success through the free product redemption experience, and they've also used a couple of tactics of like specific goal spend campaign of how do I get people to spend at least $125 each time, getting bonus rewards. So they have seen phenomenal results with 113% higher LTV, and 51% of their total revenue just comes from loyalty members. So
Wow.
they actually had a program before coming to Yapo, and one of the main reasons they switched was because they wanted to have more of this strategic approach to really see results. So a lot of the specific tactics and campaigns with goal spend and product redemption is really where they've seen that phenomenal lift and great results from this program.
Those are amazing. Do you guys have anything else to add about Moroccan Oil's program or sort of the beauty industry in general? Because I think this is our only beauty example before we move on. Okay, next brand that I love. I'm a member of this loyalty program, Comfort Crew Rewards, Brooklinen. These guys are an affordable luxury linens brand based in New York. They do bed linens, they do home essentials. I have some clothing from them that I love. So let's talk about their loyalty program. What are some of the challenges that brands in the home vertical face? Sam, let's start with you.
Yeah, sure. So going back to some of those concepts that I mentioned, the idea of purchase consideration or purchase frequency, kind of unique to the home goods space is very high consideration, right? So I think a lot about the sheets I'm going to buy or the couch I'm going to buy because I'm going to live with it. I'm going to see it and use it every day. But then really low purchase frequency because unless you are somebody with a very extravagant lifestyle, you're not buying new linens or new furniture every day. So that kind of creates a unique challenge on the customer side. And then on the brand side, the business itself, typically in the home goods space, the margins can be lower. So it's not something that you could heavily discount. And when brands face that challenge, sometimes they'll say, all right, well we'll put some discounts on shipping because that's a place where we could discount. But again, because these are bigger, bulkier items, the shipping costs can be quite high, prohibitive as well. So you really have to think about loyalty from a different perspective because it can't necessarily be about points and discounts only.
Katie, anything to add about sort of the home vertical or Brooklinen?
I think I really resonate with the like free shipping side of it, that whenever I talk about loyalty strategies internally, I think that that's something people forget about is the weight of a product alone. So while a beauty brand, of course, free shipping, no matter what, I can even give it to everybody. It does not cost me as a business that much. But for home, the margins themselves are fairly low. And then the free shipping is, I'm only going to give this away to my top tier customers. So I think with Brooklinen in particular, their programs about obviously very unique rewards that they offer to combat these challenges that Sam touched on. So they offer free products. So maybe you came to Brooklinen, who's known for their linens and sheets, but they're really trying to expand that product offering, similar tactics to beauty, but slightly different. They are pushing a lot of their bath and then their pillows. So you can see here, they have an example of a free product, which is a pillow that you can redeem. They also have incorporated the ability to, instead of using the points for yourself, donate them. So this not only, of course, from a business perspective is, they're not using it towards a product or a discount. But this from the consumer side really touches on the brand trust and affinity that we know is critical in driving the emotional connection with brands. And this is a really, really big trend that we've seen in the last year or so, is that people and brands are, they're standing behind things that they believe in. And this provides an opportunity for customers to participate. It's not just about, hey, we support this cause. It's we support this cause, and as part of our members that care about our brand, we're going to provide an opportunity for you to contribute with us. People, if this was, I've even heard of brands that are doing like plant a tree, and at the end of the year, it's like, we planted this many trees from just donations from our loyalty members. So it's a really great experience for consumers. And at the same time, it obviously, from the business side of things, allows you to combat loyalty, traditional discounts, etc.
What's interesting at what both of you guys touched on, it's like super similar to what we talked about with beauty. I think with beauty, you're dealing with, you have that product that you love in the beauty space. How am I going to convince someone who loves the hair oil to now buy the shampoo? And with home goods, especially when you're looking at something like Brooklinen, the durability is such an important part of the product. You shouldn't have to buy Brooklinen sheets frequently because they're such high quality. So again, how do you combat that? By getting them to try the other products, the clothes, or even, like you said, donating to charity, which is one of the things that I love about this program, and probably why I'm fangirling so hard over the brand, is I do have a kind of emotional connection. So yeah, I think they also saw amazing results with this. If we want to dive into those, Katie.
Yeah, so they've seen amazing results. They, like Moroccan Oil, kind of revamped their loyalty strategy in the last year to start including these redemption experiences. And they saw 2.3 times more purchases per customer that made a redemption. So previously they just had benefits, and then introducing more of this tangible exchange, they saw a significant lift in impact from. So overall, 213% increase in LTV. So a lot of engagement since they've incorporated these reward elements into the program, extending beyond just some of the benefits of their VIP experience.
Sam, anything to add before we move on to our next example here?
Cool. I think really just to echo what Katie was saying, I think in any space, in any vertical, in any brand where the product is very high consideration for the customer, you really have to look for any competitive edge. And so it can't just be the best looking, the best price. You also have to think about those values, which is what we've been talking about, that shared value, that brand affinity. So something like this, the donation program, might be the thing that really tips somebody over the edge when they're looking at, comparing apples to apples. So again, I think it's really important in any space that's high consideration to think about tactics like these.
Great. Moving on to our next example, we have Princess Polly. This is a good one. I cannot say I'm a customer of this brand, only because they're targeting Gen Z, and I'm officially not Gen Z, but this is an Australian brand, fashion forward clothing brand. They're huge with Generation Z shoppers, and we love a lot about this brand, especially though their loyalty program. What are some of the challenges, Katie, when it comes to brands selling specifically into Gen Z?
Yeah, I feel everyone's a little, from the brand side, confused about like, okay, how do I appeal to Gen Z? Because they're a large part of the consumer base right now. And with Gen Z in particular, they're easily distracted and they're connected through so many different social channels. Like Princess Polly was probably one of the first brands I think talked about TikTok like 2.5 years ago, which was crazy now to think about. They're like, we're thinking about this new interesting social channel. So they've really always been kind of ahead of how do we connect with this group of customers. And specifically with their program, where they've found a lot of success is the adoption of SMS. So what I really wanted to focus on here is when it's so difficult and there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's Snapchat, like while that's a large part of their overall loyalty program. They're getting people to adopt those channels. SMS has been the opportunity for them to cut through the noise of all of those other channels and have this very intimate one-to-one engagement with their VIP customers. And Princess Polly's also in fast fashion. So there will be a dress that goes on from one of their top influencers and it's gone in like 20 minutes. So an experience that they really wanted to incorporate was for our VIPs, we want to give them early access, but think about sending somebody like early access to their email. Like that, that has like 3,000 emails in my personal email. So in order to really give that timely access, they needed to do this through the SMS channel. So over 50% of their SMS subscribers are VIPs, and they've seen though the particular, I guess they're called campaigns. I'm not up on my SMS jargon quite yet, but the campaigns that they've done for early access to VIPs, they've seen incredible results from. So like 10.3 was one of the results from a recent exclusive like early access sale that they did. So that in particular is what I would highlight for this program. But Sam, I know that there's probably a lot that you have to say beyond just like Gen Z. So
well, I don't know about a lot, but a bit maybe. So I think on top of the challenge that Princess Polly had in their demographic in Gen Z is also the vertical of fashion, fast fashion, right? So this is all about trends and following trends. So your customer base has sort of the bar is with low inherent loyalty set because they want to follow what's in fashion, and and if you're suddenly, to quote Project Runway, one day you're in, one day you're out. So to stay relevant and to stay on trend, you do need to build a community, and that's what Katie's describing. And the tactics that they're using to build that community is through a direct brand relationship, right? I'm getting an SMS, so that is cutting through that noise. And then those events, those exclusive sales, that access that does keep the brand kind of top of mind and top of trend.
That's interesting. Let's dive a little bit more into these results. Katie, I know you touched on it a little bit. You said 50% of the brand's VIP members are signed up for SMS, and then they're getting special like access as a result of like being VIP and being signed up for SMS. They're kind of getting this exclusive access. Can you talk about this campaign with the 10.3x higher ROI? I'm very interested in that one.
Yeah, so it was a recent sale that they did that was just unlocking, I think it was like a new collaboration drop. So they will promote like this is coming through all of their social channels. So people are getting really excited about what's to come. And then their VIPs get that SMS notification of, hey, we're unlocking this 24 hours early for you. Like stay in touch and we'll give you the link in 24 hours. And then they get the link, they can shop it. And it's very timely. Like that's the big part of how do I treat my VIPs different and actually allow them to take advantage of these benefits and exclusivity that we're providing to them. And this is one of those like it doesn't cost the business anything to really do this, like giving somebody early access, but the consumer is obsessed with being able to have this early access, and it makes them actually feel like they're getting a truly different experience than others. So it's really about treating them differently, and they've done so much with their program that I wish we had time to go through all of it, but it's very on brand with events, and their tiers are even like VIP backstage pass because they did a very festival feel. So beyond these early access benefits, they also have events. So they don't have discounts associated with their program. I guess I should maybe touch on that. They wanted to stay away from that with loyalty. So it's really just benefits of early access, access to groups. They have like a Facebook group that's specific to VIPs. And then there's a lucky drawing of anyone, any of their VIPs that get to attend a festival. So it's a global program in the US. Maybe it's going to be like Coachella, and like being able to be at the Princess Polly booth and be VIP with them is like a really, really, really exclusive benefit of this. So they're really driving value and connecting with who's our consumer, what do they want, and it's these different experiences, not necessarily like $10 off. So
I love what you said about discounts, because I know that's like the big fear whenever I talk to brands about that don't have loyalty and they're exploring loyalty. One of the first things that always comes up is they say, well, that's just discounts, right? And I don't want to discount, especially if you're in a business with low margins, but there's a million reasons why people don't want to discount. And I'm thinking about the examples we've shown so far. I'm not sure discounts have come up once yet. So there's just so much that can be done with loyalty programs beyond discounts, which are nice, but it's truly about these other kind of things: building brand affinity, making people feel special, offering these things that might not really cost you anything as a business, but really mean a lot to your customers. Before we move on from fashion and Princess Polly, does anyone have anything else to add here? Oh, I'm lying, because we're not moving on from fashion, because Tomboy X is definitely fashion. Tomboy X, socially conscious underwear brand. They have strong values, and they're all about sort of body inclusivity, which we love. Let's talk about sort of their challenges. Sam, can you jump in here?
Sure. So I think it's great that we're looking at these two back to back, because again, if we think about the customer in the different customer context, so for Tomboy X, it is clothing. You know, it can be considered fashion, but it's not necessarily about what's on trend or what's hot in the moment. It's their brand image is more about it's what you like. It's not what's on trend. It's what works for you. So again, you know, Talia talking about not discounts, price wouldn't work here, because I'm not buying because this is cheaper. I'm buying because I believe in kind of the shared values and the self-image. So, you know, how do I make my customers believe that, and how do I make it feel authentic? So it's not just, I don't know what the body positivity term for greenwashing is, but so it's not just seen as that.
Katie, anything to add about the challenges of a brand like this?
Yeah, I think that Tomboy X in particular, it's really in the intimates category of fashion. And I think that it's like, I like using the word intimates because it's an intimate product. Like, it is something you wear every single day. And I think if we look at the way this particular category has changed over the course of the last 5 years or so, there's been a lot of disruption to like the Victoria's Secrets of the world. Like, everyone is recognizing that this particular category needs to be about body positivity, racial inclusion, and Tomboy X does a really great job of making that the core to who they are, that's something a woman or a man is going to put on every single day. Like, it's going back to what Samantha said about the sheets. I have to look at it every single day. This is something you have to wear every single day, and it's directly on your body. So I think that this particular use case is a reason that, like, something you have to see every day with Brooklinen, you know, that people feel good about that this is kind of the same experience that they recognize was going to be very relevant and resonate with their customers. The one other challenge I'll speak about with just intimates in general is people usually buy in bulk as well. So I don't buy intimates. every season, actually. Usually the consumer is going in and they're buying like a refresh every 6 months, or I mean, maybe once a year, but so there is that like large gap in between your last purchase. So it's critical that you stay top of mind and that you create this emotional connection so that even if I haven't bought from you in 6 months, I've worn your product and I am drawn to come back because of how I have felt about my brand connection, and like almost creating a little bit of an identity with the brand.
I'll just add about intimates. One of the things, it's not a challenge for loyalty, it's a anti-challenge. It's a benefit, is that you're loyal. When you find a product that you like, when you find a brand that you like in this category, that's your brand. You're like, no need to look anywhere else. I'll keep coming back. So there's something natural in there that they can sort of optimize and build on that I think is really key. So talking about that, we talked about this is a brand with a mission, and it's often customers are coming to the brand because they believe in the mission. So how are they sort of enabling their customers to participate in the mission with their loyalty program, Katie?
So Tomboy X specifically actually is, they're working with one of our partners, Shopping Gives. So they have a lot of their different campaigns that in general, they're giving a percentage back to different philanthropies. So they wanted to incorporate that, of course, into loyalty and create a bit of a different experience where, again, it feels more like I, as a consumer, am contributing and I'm giving, I'm making a choice to decide which philanthropy I want to choose from. I believe they have 4. But a couple of them are Campaign Zero, Discovering Gender, and I think that they rotate this. I was trying to read up on it of exactly how they go about choosing, but I think they are not only allowing for customers to just redeem for donations. What I like about this program in particular is they're also rewarding you every time you do it. So it's two-sided. It's not only like, hey, just get rid of your points and donate it, but we find value and we appreciate that you're doing that, and we're going to reward you actually every time you even do that. So I really think that they're standing behind the belief of, like, it feels really authentic to me, the way that they've structured it in that way.
And what were their results from their loyalty program and campaigns, like you mentioned?
So they've had, I didn't call out some of the specific results because it's very similar to some of the others where it was like a 2x increase in redemptions. But I think what is really important for everyone to understand is that 71% of Millennial and Gen Z shoppers are willing to spend more and shop with a brand that gives back. So they've seen huge lifts in like just the ability for people to donate and the amount that they're buying each time, because they feel the more I spend, the more percentage that I can be donating. So I think it's really here about, like, they've accomplished that emotional connection, which you almost can't even really put a dollar on or like a result on. They just really recognize, like, this is a critical part of who we are as a brand, and it needs to be a part of the loyalty element, that is a way for our VIPs to participate.
Okay, we're going to move on to our last case study of the day because we're kind of running out of time. Sorry. So we're going to do this one quickly. Baked by Melissa. As a New Yorker, I'm very familiar with Baked by Melissa. They make those little itty bitty cupcakes. And this is just an iconic brand that has really boomed and is doing amazing stuff with their online direct-to-consumer business. So what are challenges, Sam, for brands like Baked by Melissa, food, flowers, those kind of consumable, perishable items?
So I think there's two challenges mainly. The key ones are that the purchaser isn't the user, so to speak. So typically for services like this, you're buying for somebody else, right? You're doing something nice for somebody. And then the related challenge to that is there's not a typical sales cycle because it's event-based. It's somebody's just done something very nice for me, I'd like to reward them. Or somebody's just graduated, I'd like to celebrate that. So there's kind of lots of peaks in the sales cycle, which is another challenge that you'd have to address with a loyalty program.
Katie, can we talk about maybe some challenges, if you have anything to add, and sort of the tactics and the solutions that Baked by Melissa used, or that other brands can use to deal with these things?
Yeah, I think that the occasions was the perfect summation that Sam provided. So the way in particular Baked by Melissa is addressing this is they have rotating rewards. So it's kind of like, here's what's hot this month, and trying to constantly be informing their reward customers about different holidays or times that you can give to somebody else. That was a big trend that we also saw, is people weren't connected in person. There was this big lift in this particular category because people wanted to make somebody feel good, send them a gift that put a smile on their face. So this program is really designed around creating that like fun experience. So it's very on brand to who they are. They want the gift giver to feel good, and they want to even surprise that customer once in a while too, the gift giver. Here's surprise and delight, like treat yourself with a free box of cupcakes maybe. So they've seen results of 110% increase in purchasers per customer year over year. I think that it's just a cute way. They've really made this again like a really brand experience, and they reward for things like unboxing videos, because that's a part of, if you go to their website, like they want you to feel it's an indulgent experience, which I think is a play on the cupcakes, but anything like that where you're capturing the videos of the person who's unboxing it, or like photos of somebody holding their flowers, that really creates a differentiated experience for the gift giver, where they feel good about buying from that brand and the idea of how they could put a smile on someone's face.
Cool. And then basically their results are showing that despite what we've said about sort of it's hard to predict your user, and they're really going to be, it's going to depend on occasions in their life. They actually saw an increase in customer purchases from loyalty rewards members, right?
Yeah, exactly. So people were coming back more and more because they were following on Instagram. They were, they found so many more opportunities or ideas for when to be sending different gifts to people because of the way in which Baked by Melissa is engaging and sending their VIPs, hey, don't forget it's Coworker Appreciation Day, which Talia, I promise I'll figure out what day that is and send you some.
I hope you can figure out how to send these to London. I would be so happy. Okay, with that, Sam, can you tell us a little bit about Live Area for our audience who wants to work with an amazing company like yours?
Thank you. I'd be happy to. So at Live Area, we always start with a strategy. As we've been discussing today, we want to understand both the business goals and the customer context and needs to make sure we're defining solutions that work for both. So as a company, we bring together world-class commerce technology, to build and launch innovative products and services. We're data informed, we're evidence-based. We want to elevate customer and brand relationships both online and in the store. We work across B2B, B2C, D2C, in all the areas we've talked about: health and beauty, fashion and apparel, consumer packaged goods, healthcare, etc. We also work with amazing partners like Yotpo, as you can see from today. And if you would like more information about us, you can simply visit our website, and that's on the slide there. It's www.liveareacx.com.
Thank you. Katie, any final words about loyalty before we sign off today?
No, I think it's just thank you so much to Sam. I think you really brought a lot of expertise to the conversation about the way Live Area approaches building strategy. The data that you typically will analyze about the brand's customers in order to make those educated decisions about what campaigns you're going to be offering in order to drive very specific results and behaviors. So thank you so much for all of the insight that you provided across all of these verticals. It's been really a fun 45 minutes.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be working with you both.
Thank you. Yeah, so before we sign off, I hope you guys got something out of sort of some of the hidden benefits of loyalty. Hopefully we helped you look at loyalty in a different way, understanding the different things that you can do. It's not just about discounts. There's a lot of benefits for your customers, for your business. And yeah, if you'd like to know more, please get in touch with us. You can email us with any questions or visit us at yapo.com. And that's it. Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you so much, Sam.